and welcome to Spectrum News at 9. My name is Xavier Robert, coming to you live from the beautiful hills of Abia. Let's take a look at the headlines. President Buhari warns foreign nations from meddling in Nigeria's election. Federal government recovers £6.3 million, €5.4 million and $390,000. Plus, more classified documents found in garage of Biden's home. Details of these stories and more in a moment. First in our news tonight, as the forthcoming presidential election inches closer, President Muhammadu Buhari has warned foreign nations to stay clear of meddling in Nigeria's election. Republic of Ireland, the Kingdom of Thailand, the Republic of Senegal, and the Republic of South Sudan in Abuja. According to a statement by Special Advisor to the President in Media and Publicity Femi Adesina, Buhari urged ambassadors to be guided by diplomatic practice and go about their duties professionally. In another development, President Muhammadu Buhari today endorsed the All Progressives Congress APC Abia gubernatorial candidate Emenike. The endorsement took place at the Ashel Villa State House. When Emenike visited the president, Buhari raised his hands up in support to his governorship ambition in Abia State. Keenly watching was the candidate's wife, Ambassador Emenike, who is Nigeria's first female ambassador to the United States of America. Recall that a court sitting in Owerri had thrown out the APC. Meanwhile, President Muhammadu Buhari today in Abuja directed the armed forces to hunt the killers of 7 personnel of the Nigeria Security and Civil Defense Corps. A statement signed by Buhari's Senior Special Assistant on Media and Publicity, Garba Shehu, the president directed the armed forces to seek the bandits who inflicted the casualty and make them pay the price. It could be recalled that at least 7 officers were ambushed by gunmen on Monday while they were accompanying an expatriate to a mining site in Benengwari local government area of Kaduna State, northwest Nigeria. In the meantime, the federal government has said that Nigeria recovered £6.3 million, €5.4 million and $390,000 of its assets stowed by corrupt government officials in foreign nests. The Attorney General of the Federation AGF and Minister of Justice Abubakar Malami made this known during a ministerial scorecard of the justice sector from 2015 to date. He said part of the recovered amount have been used on projects such as the reconstruction of Abuja-Kano Expressway, Lagos-Ibadan Expressway, and the construction of the second Niger Bridge in the southeast. In another development, the federal government has sent an investigative team to probe the leakage on Shell's Trans-Niger pipeline. Shell Petroleum Development Company SDPC confirmed the leak on its Trans-Niger pipeline following an illegal connection in Nonwa-Wedume community axis in the Thai local government area of Rivers State. Reports say this was barely 24 hours after a pipeline used by illegal refiners to steal crude oil was uncovered in the community. Recall that the chairman of Thai local government area of the state, Mbakpone Ope, had raised the alarm over illegal oil bunkering activities going on in some communities in the area. Ope, who disclosed the illegal pipeline when he led security operatives and council officials to the scene following a tip-off, accused Shell of has assured Nigerians that the 2023 general elections will hold across the country. The Minister of Information and Culture, Lai Mohammed, gave the assurance at the 17th edition of President Buhari's scorecard series from 2015 to 2023. Recall that the Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC) had earlier raised an alarm over the rising insecurity situation across the country and its impact on the 2023 general elections.
As planned, nothing has happened to change that position. We are aware that INEC is working with the security agencies to ensure that the elections are successfully held across the country. The security agencies have also continued to assure Nigerians that they are working tirelessly to ensure that the elections are held in a peaceful atmosphere. Therefore, there is no cause for alarm. The position of the federal government remains that the 2023 elections will be held as planned.
Still on electoral matters, the chairman of the Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC), Mahmood Yakubu, has restated the commitment of the commission to hold the forthcoming general elections as scheduled. He said the electoral body is not contemplating postponing the general elections in February and March this year. Yakubu spoke when he met with the leadership of the 18 political parties at the commission's headquarters in Abuja. Elsewhere, former President Olusegun Obasanjo is enraged over a claim trailing his backing of Peter Obi to win the 2023 presidential election. The former head of state endorsed the Labour Party LP flag bearer in a lengthy letter to Nigerians on January 1. The open declaration, widely considered a major boost for Obi's ambition, jolted the ruling party and the opposition. Since then, certain social media posts and publications accused Obasanjo of receiving inducement. In politics, the presidential candidate of Labour Party, Peter Obi, today declared that he would end industrial action in Nigerian universities and other tertiary institutions, a situation he claimed had crippled university education in the country. Obi spoke at the University of Nigeria Nsukka Business Interactive session titled State of the Nigerian Economy, The Way Forward, held at the Central Bank of Nigeria. The president of the Academic Staff Union of Universities strike would be a thing of the past. So in politics, the Catholic Bishop of Sokoto Diocese, Matthew Kuka, says that no Nigerian should be undecided about the candidates to vote for in the upcoming general elections, considering the abundance of problems facing the country at present. Speaking in an interview, Bishop Kuka argued that there should be a vigorous battle among Nigerians to overcome cynicism. He advised Nigerians to lower their expectations on political choices, noting that there is no such thing as the right candidate in elections. According to him, the real challenge should be how prepared the people are to engage with the politicians after they have been elected into office. To judicial matters now, where the Supreme Court has agreed to promptly hear an appeal by a serving lawmaker, Peter Nwaboshi, who was sentenced to 7 years imprisonment. Nwaboshi currently represents Delta North Senatorial District in the 9th National Assembly. It could be recalled that the Court of Appeal in Lagos in July 2022 convicted and sentenced the lawmaker to 7 years imprisonment along with his two companies for laundering 322 million naira in 2014. In a ruling, a 5-member panel of the Apex Court, led by the Chief Justice of Nigeria (CJN) Justice Olukayode Ariwola, said Nwaboshi's application having as prayed. He subsequently rescheduled the hearing of the appeal for February 9th, 2023, as against the earlier date of November 21, 2024. So from the judiciary, of Federal High Court in Abuja today dismissed a certificate forgery suit instituted against the Kwara State Governor Abdulrahman Abdulrazak by the opposition party, the People's Democratic Party (PDP), for want of merit and jurisdiction. Justice Inyang Ekwo, while dismissing the suit, held that PDP's case was baseless, unwarranted, and constituted a gross abuse of the court. The PDP had sued the Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC), Abdur Razak, and the All Progressives Congress (APC) as the first to third defendants, respectively. Away from that now, the immediate past Director General of the Labour Party Presidential Campaign Council, Doyin Okupe, has stated that his rearrest by the Department of State Services, who was arrested at the Murtala Mohammed International Airport today, said his passport had long been withheld by the Federal High Court, Abuja, even before finding him guilty of violating sections of the Money Laundering Act that attracted 2.5 years imprisonment. The former Special Assistant on Media and Publicity to President Olusegun Obasanjo and Senior Special Assistant on Public Affairs to President Goodluck Jonathan added that the officers of the EFCC in Lagos and Abuja have apologized for the error in his arrest. In a related development, the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission (EFCC) has said it will remove the embattled former Director General of the Labour Party Presidential Campaign Council, Dr. Doyin Okupe, from the watch list. This comes on the heels of his arrest by the Department of State Services (DSS) at the Murtala Mohammed International Airport in Lagos today. On security now, the chairman of the House Committee on Capital Market and Institutions, Babangida Ibrahim, has said the Investments and Securities Bill is capable of transforming the capital market while boosting investors' confidence. He said this while commenting on the recent passage of the bill by the House of Representatives in a statement issued by the Securities and Exchange Commission recently. Ibrahim said the bill is meant to repeal the existing Investments and Securities Act of 2007 that will establish a new market infrastructure. And in another development, the federal government has said that Universal Basic Education (UBEC) will do everything humanly possible to strengthen early childhood education in the country. In a statement made to herald the flag-off of the national sensitization campaign of out-of-school children across the country, the Minister of State for Education, Nana Opia, highlighted some of the factors that deny children access to early education, noting that the federal government, through the instrumentality of the Universal Basic Education, is doing everything humanly possible to assist the states on the issue of early childhood education. The UBEC Act mandates that state governments pay a mandatory 50% counterpart fund to access the yearly interventions of the federal government. Away from that, the Jigawa State Fire Service has warned residents to be careful of the way they handle fire and other electronics, especially during the Harmattan season. The state commandant of the fire service, Ibrahim Gomel, gave the warning in an interview with newsmen in his office while reacting to the fire incident at the Datse NNPC filling station. He advised on the need for families to extinguish all fires and switch off light points and electrical appliances before going to bed. Meanwhile, following the crisis that rocked Ikaria Koko, the headquarters of Akoko Northeast local government area of Ondo State, the state government has relaxed the 24-hour curfew earlier imposed on the community. The Commissioner for Information and Orientation, Bamidele Ademola Olateju, disclosed that to 6 a.m. She claimed that the two monarchs, Olukare of Ikare and Owale, have received strong instructions to act in accordance with government directives, emphasizing that failure to do so could result in the concerned Kabiesi being banished. According to the government spokesperson, a 5-member committee has also been constituted to investigate the Ikare dilemma and make recommendations regarding a solution to the Okoja problem and the Oloko intercession. Back here, the Akwa Ibom State government is set to inaugurate a merchant skill acquisition center to boost entrepreneurship opportunities that will ensure self-reliance among youths in the state. The center, located at the defunct kilometers from Uyo, the state capital, would offer courses in 10 faculties. According to the consultant on the project, Churchill Udo, who stated this while conducting reporters around the center. The center will also house facilities for major sporting events. According to him, the international certification includes the City and Guilds of London in addition to that of the National Board for Technical Education and other relevant trade bodies and institutes of Nigeria. Still to come in the news. U.S. inflation rate slows to 6.5%. Do stay with us.
Every day, we bring you up-to-date information on topical issues affecting the common Nigerian. From issues on politics,
Hello, Nigeria. I remain committed.
security, education, health, lifestyle, and so much more. Join Janice Kobum and Uyai Aniakin every weekday from 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. on Rise and Shine Daily, exclusive on Spectrum Television.
One truth not often told is about the transformation that Africa has undergone. Picture the African way, laced with truth, detail, and the color of the African continent. Join Uyai Anyekan every Tuesday and Thursdays at 4:30 p.m. Spotlight Africa, telling the African story.
The Nigerian police, which is the only one allowed by Muslim, our governors have to share police powers with the president as stipulated by the constitution. We do not have a federal government police force. We have the Nigerian police force, which shall be administered, organized, and supervised by the Nigerian police force.
No, my lord, I want to say something. I want to say something here. Perhaps it might also enlarge the scope of people who should be invited here for examination. My lord, if we cannot find those who literally murdered Abiola, who are those people who could be said to be the beneficiaries of the death of Abiola?
Rogers has linked you with some of the killings he did.
He never did.
He linked you with the attempted murder of Hebrew.
He did not.
My lord, the matters council is leading the evidence in our matters.
Is this an adversary proceeding?
It's not, my lord, but we can't be talking about cases which are in court,
Is
my
this
lord.
an adversary proceeding?
It's not, my lord. These cases are in court, my lord. I'm just reminding your lordship.
My lord, sorry, but I think I'll be in cross-examination.
Legally Speaking, a program that deals with legal issues and questions we face as citizens of this amazing country, Nigeria. Legally Speaking. Join us every
Friday from 5 p.m. to 6 p.m.
for Legally Speaking.
Were a key figure, Babo Golde, in the post-electoral violence that shook Ivory Coast in 2011, has reiterated interests in the Ivorian presidential polls. Babo was acquitted by the International Criminal Court (ICC) in March 2021 for crimes arising from the conflict. He launched his own political party named as the Pan-African Congress for Justice and Equality of the People, GOJEP. However, he remains banned from standing in elections because of a 20-year jail sentence linked to the post. Millions have been killed following attacks by gunmen in South Sudan. This is according to reports from the United Nations Office for the Coordination of Humanitarian Affairs, CHA. The UN agency said 2 of the victims were attacked by armed men, which left others dead in a village in the oil-rich Abia administrative area. A total of 14 people, including women and children, died in the attack. which was attributed to youths from the neighboring Twig County. The disputed region, which is under UN protection, has been on the border between Sudan and South Sudan. In the meantime, the United Nations has called for urgent funding to help 30 million children suffering from acute malnutrition before it's too late in countries being hammered by the food crisis. UN agencies said conflict, climate shocks, and the COVID-19 pandemic, as well as rising living costs, were leaving an increasing number of children in worst affected countries suffer from wasting or acute malnutrition, and that 8 million of these children are severely wasted, the deadliest form of undernutrition. The 15 countries are Afghanistan, Burkina Faso, Chad, Democratic Republic of Congo, Ethiopia, Haiti, Kenya, Madagascar, Mali, Niger, Nigeria, Somalia, South Sudan, Sudan, and Yemen. Elsewhere, Malawi police have arrested 2 women in their mid-20s after they used kwacha banknotes as decorations for a cake they had baked and posted it on social media. A police spokesman said the pair had posted the image of the cake festooned with 7,500 kwacha notes worth $35 on social media as they advertised their cake-making business. Meanwhile, the accused have not commented on their arrest, but police say they will be charged with an offense of damaging and unlawful use of currency. Meanwhile, the main opposition party in Benin, Les Democrates, has rejected provisional results from Sunday's parliament. It would be the first time its members have been represented in the chamber in 4 years, but a party spokesman accused the commission of falsifying results in order to minimize the opposition's parliamentary representation. According to reports, allies of President Patrice Talon secured 81 seats in the vote. Away from that, now the French and German foreigners of fighting in the northern Tigray region. Germany's Annalena Baerbock said the pair would be discussing the need for lasting peace and accountability, food security in the region, as well as the wider partnership between the European and African unions. Reports say tens of thousands of combatants and Tigrayan civilians died during months of brutal fighting marked by numerous allegations of war crimes. Meanwhile, reports from France say a suspected attacker who stabbed and injured 6 people at Paris's Gare du Nord rail station has been identified as Libyan national aged in his 20s who was due to be deported. Police are still investigating the motive, but Arnaud Damanin has praised the courage of 2 off-duty police officers who intervened to halt the attack. According to reports, the suspect was shot 3 times and taken to hospital with serious injuries. A second set of classified documents from his time as vice president at a storage space in the garage of his home in Wilmington, Delaware. The White House said an additional classified document was also found in his personal library. The statement by the special counsel to Biden, Richard Sauber, came days after the White House said an earlier batch of documents had been discovered in November in the closet of an office at the University of Pennsylvania think tank that Biden had used as he prepares for an expected 2024 re-election campaign in the upcoming months. Still on the foreign scene, the United States and Japan have announced a significant strengthening of their military relationship while upgrading their military's force posture in the country. This is according to two U.S. officials from the U.S. Defense. They have established collaborations for the stationing of a newly redesignated Marine unit with advanced intelligence surveillance capabilities with the ability to fire anti-ship missiles.
To uphold the rules-based order that we are both. Our alliance is a cornerstone of peace, security, and prosperity in the Indo-Pacific, and the steps that we announced today will strengthen the alliance's ability to uphold the rules-based order that we are both very much committed to.
Away from that, now, U.S. Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin said during a press conference that the 12th Marine Regiment, an artillery regiment, would be redesignated to the 12th Marine Littoral. Abuses during the war in Ukraine has been identified as a litany of violations of international humanitarian law by a human rights group known as the Human Rights Watch (HRW). In the group's annual report reviewing human rights standards in nearly 100 countries, it said that evidence of war crimes in Bucha, a suburb of Kiev, are part of a pattern that has been repeated countless times. HRW's World Report 2023 also highlighted the bombing of a theater in Mariupol. Despite signs warning that children were sheltering there, as well as strikes on other non-military targets. While appreciating the response of European countries in receiving Ukrainian refugees, the group also said that governments should reflect on holding Russia's presidency to account. In another development, Turkey has summoned Sweden's ambassador Recep Tayyip Erdogan, swinging by his legs from a rope. A tweet by the Rojava Committee of Sweden compared Erdogan to Italy's fascist dictator Benito Mussolini, who was hung upside down after his execution in the closing days of World War II. The Nordic neighbors still need Turkey to approve their NATO membership bids, which came in response to Russia's invasion of Ukraine. Meanwhile, Sweden, with its larger Kurdish diaspora, has particularly angered Turkey. Meanwhile, France's First Lady Brigitte Macron has waded into a contentious debate over school uniforms, backing their use at the very moment the far right is pushing in Parliament to make a unified dress code mandatory nationwide. Uniforms are law, but the French media picked up on the dissonance today as the country braces for mass strikes next week over a government plan to raise the retirement age. And now it's time for the latest business and stock market stories. We have Blyden Okem standing by.
Thank you and welcome. It is business news. My name is Blyden Okem. In business news today, we begin with U.S. economic index as inflation rate slows to 6.5%. The annual inflation rate in the U.S. cooled for a sixth straight month to 6.5% in December, the lowest since October of 2021, and matching market expectations. Inflation measures the overall increase in prices or the increase in the cost of living in a country. Month over month, the Consumer Price Index CPI declined by 0.1%, beating forecast of a flat reading as a decrease in gasoline prices more than offsets a rise in the cost of shelter. A look at the energy market. Nigeria's price benchmark Brent crude climbed more than 1% to $84 per barrel today on optimism that demand for fuel will grow this year. World's largest oil importer, China, is making significant efforts to boost its economy while ending its strict COVID-19 policy. Concerns about the impact of sanctions on Russian supply also lent optimism to bulls as additional European Union curbs aimed at Russian fuel product sales are due to take effect in February. Meanwhile, OPEC and its allies decided in December to stick with their policy of curtailing oil outputs, restricting global supplies by 2 million barrels per day, a move due to run through the end of 2023. To the crypto market outlook. Bitcoin hits 1 month high, above $18,000. Bitcoin jumped more than 3% to above $18,000 after it was reported that more than $5 billion in liquid assets were recovered by FTX lawyers, including cash and some digital investments. Adding to the bullish tone was an overall appetite for riskier assets on prospects that softening inflation would allow the Federal Reserve to slow down the pace of its aggressive monetary policy. Similarly, the SEC above $1,400. Bitcoin lost more than 60% of its value in 2022, well below its all-time high of nearly $70,000 in November 2021, as soaring inflation and tightening financial conditions spooked investors. In Nigeria, regarding MBS reports, the Nigerian Bureau of Statistics for November has shown that the average retail price of kerosene per litre rose by about 146% from 441 naira in November 2021 to 1,083 naira per litre in the corresponding period of last year. The report indicated that average retail price per litre was 4% higher on a month-on-month basis in November 2022 compared to 1,041 naira recorded in October. On state profile analysis, the highest average price per litre in November 2022 was recorded in Akwa Ibom State with 1,417 naira, followed by Cross River with 1,367 naira and Abuja with 1,307 naira per litre. On the other hand, the lowest price and Nasarawa State with 913 naira per litre. It's time to look at the Nigerian stock market report. At the end of today's trading session on the Nigerian Stock Exchange, the benchmark All-Share Index moved up 318.98 basis points to close at 52,048.85 points. The current market capitalization of the Nigerian Stock Exchange is 28.4 trillion naira. Compared with the previous trading day, today's data shows 25% decline in volume, 5% decline in turnover, and 6% decline in deals. AZA, Mansard 8 listed equities participated in trading, ending with 35 gainers and 9 losers. Lasaco Assurance led the gainers with 10% share price appreciation, closing at 1 naira 10 kobo per share, while Abia Mortgage Bank came out last with an end-of-day price appreciation of 10% at 1 naira 53 kobo per share. This is all on business news. The news continues with Xavier Roberts.
Thanks, Biden. There's still to come in the news. Heat suspend Deadman for 1 game after swatting massage gun on court. Do stay with us. Thanks for staying tuned. Now in health, the Minister of Health, Osaje Hanire, has stated plans by the federal government to establish 100 oxygen generation plants across the country to ensure oxygen sufficiency. He said this in Abuja during the 17th edition of President Buhari's administration scorecard series. According to Hanire, before the COVID-19 pandemic in 2020, there were laxity. It disclosed that many responses will be made to include the activation of old moribund oxygen plants and the establishment of new ones, as well as the setting up and revamping of facilities that were not existent before, such as isolation centers and treatment facilities across the country for different diseases. Still in health, the Director General, National Agency for Food and Drug Administration and Control, NAFDAC, Mujiya Tayeye, has sought a regulatory system for effective quality therapeutic medicines and vaccines in low and medium income countries. The DG made the call in a statement issued and signed by the agency's resident media consultant, Olushayo Akintola, in Abuja. Tayeye said that only effective quality therapeutic medicines and vaccines in low to medium income countries of the world. According to her, the World Health Organization supports member states in reaching and sustaining effective regulatory oversight of medical products through the Regulatory Systems Strengthening RSS program. It's over now to Bright James for trending sports stories.
Thank you, Stevie Robert. Good evening and welcome to the Sports Desk. I am Bright James. In basketball, the Heat have suspended Dwayne Dedmon for one game without pay after the outburst where he swatted a message gun onto the court in Tuesday's 112-111 win over the Oklahoma City Thunders. Dedmon reacted angrily after being stopped out of the game, exchanging words with coaches before storming off and flinging a massage gun back onto the court during play. The reserve center was ejected by officials for that act. The Heat announced earlier today that in consultation with the NBA, they had decided Dedmon would be banned for one game for conduct detrimental to the team. Miami head coach Eric Spoelstra has labeled the outburst an unacceptable behavior after Tuesday's game. 3-6-6-7-6-1 to move into the semis of the ATP Adelaide International 2 at Memorial Drive Tennis Center on Thursday. Kokinakis is ranked number 110 in the world, will face number 4-6-7, and Russian-Andrei Rublev, the top seed 6-4, 3-6, 6-3, ahead of his own win today. Meanwhile, Kekmanovic, ranked number 28 in the world, had defeated Carl Edmund 6-4, 7-5, and Australian wildcard Jason Kubler 5-7, 7-6, 6-4 earlier in the week. Now with football, Manchester United have a Besiktas is now heading to Manchester for medical before the move can be completed. Deal has been reached for his loan at the Turkish club to be terminated. Vegas scored 8 goals and registered for assists in 16 league games for Besiktas. The move allows United manager Erik ten Hag to bring in his fellow Dutchman to fill the vacancy he has for a striker. And he's
right now on our entertainment news. Nigerian singer Peter Okoye of the P Square Group has urged Nigerians to oust failed politicians and retake the nation. The 41-year-old made this known on his Twitter page today. He stated that the aforesaid politicians do not have regard for Nigerians. He exhorted Nigerians to obtain their PVCs to ensure that they are able to retire them and take back the viewer. This time, do ensure to follow us on social media and subscribe to our YouTube channel, all of which you can find on our website, spectrumtv.ng. You have been watching Spectrum News at 9. My name is Xavier Robert, wishing you a terrific night rest. Bye-bye for now.